Hey everybody! So it's time for me to introduce my second guest for Ready 1 2. This time, Juan Martin Clavijo from La Calera, Colombia. Juan was literally born the year that Kareth Lemon retired from vaulting. So I thought that would be a very interesting contrast. Juan is on fire as a competitive vaulter right now. He won in 2015 the Junior World Championships, won the Junior World Championships in 2017, then went senior and won the World Cup Finals in Samir in 2019. So clearly he's doing something right. It's really interesting for me because I've known Juan since he was a little kid, like really little. I've been doing clinics in Colombia off and on for years, and Juan was always this shy little guy, sort of in the shadow of his older sister Sylvia. And I remember him wearing his vaulting uniform, like his compulsory uniform for the clinic. He just obviously really was trying hard, and something was really committed back then even, but he was very shy. And now to see him so expressive and see him performing and on the podium, it's inspiring. So I wanted to ask Juan how he's doing through the coronavirus. I want to find out what it's like in Colombia. I want to know some of the secrets as to why Juan is so good. What is he doing? How is he training? And let's find out what his future is. What is he planning to do? So let's welcome our next guest, Juan Martin Clavijo.
All right. Hey, guys. This is Devon with Ready 1 2. And I'd like to welcome my next guest, Juan Martin Clavijo. This is our second time doing the interview. The first time I totally messed up with the video and it got lost. So thank you, Juan, for doing a second interview. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So I wanted to I just wanted to know, how are things for you right now in Colombia? I want this to be an opportunity for people to see the faces of our favorite vaulters, get to know what's going on, and hear how people are. And so how is it in Colombia right now for you guys, and how is it affecting you?
Well, the situation, I think, is hard for most of us. We can't go out at all. There's just one person allowed per family to go out to get the groceries. And well, so it's been already a month. It was supposed to be like 2 weeks at first, but it's already been a month. And I'm having online classes. Yeah, and so that's basically the only thing that I can do right now. I can't go training, and so I haven't trained a lot here at home, just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. So you're really stuck at home almost all the time now, or all the time?
All of the time now. We can't go out at all. Just one person per family to get the groceries, and they can't go. I mean, that person is not allowed to go like all of the week, just some of the days in the week. And and that depends on the hour of the day. Like, if you can go out on Monday, then you can go only in the afternoon or so. And it depends also the day, whether you're female or male. So yeah, so it's pretty
yeah.
difficult.
It's a little different everywhere, but one thing I'm just noticing is that it's changing everyone's daily life, and it's had a big impact. For us, we're home a lot more, but because I'm the caretaker for the horse, Kaylin and I, we have to go to the horses. So the horses have been our saving grace, letting us get out of the house. But otherwise, we're at home like way more than I've ever been. As you can see, I have the barrel in the background, so I feel pretty lucky because I get to train on that barrel. But what keeps you physically like healthy and emotionally healthy? I mean, this is really hard for active people like you, I would imagine.
Well, the good thing is that where I live, it's the countryside, so I can like go out of my house to walk like just around my house where my house is, like in the terrain.
Hmm.
And yeah, I can get some fresh air, and we have a really nice view. So the mountains, the trees. It's not like people that live in the city in a small apartment. That's way
Yeah.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, I've been to Juan's place. It's really, you have a beautiful view. It's a beautiful countryside. So that's that makes it a little bit better, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm lucky that I'm not stuck in a place like completely stuck
Yeah.
for me. Yeah.
So uh, just so people can get to know a little bit more about you as a vaulter in Colombia. Not all of us know a lot about Colombia. I've been fortunate enough to be there and train with your team and train your team and stuff. But so tell us what it's like to be a vaulter in Colombia, and especially how is it to be a world-class vaulter in Colombia? Because your standards so high, you have to keep up with the latest vaulting trends and set your goals high. So I just like to know, what is it like in Colombia to do that right now, or in general?
Yeah. Well, yeah, vaulting is really small, still really small in Colombia, and we don't have that much competitions. We normally have around 6 in the year. And well, to be like a high class level vaulter, it's not that fun. It's not that fun because at competitions, I don't have really like a competition, but because I'm competing against myself most of the time.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so it's, I guess that's not that fun. Yeah.
Well, but do you train? When I spoke to you last time, you mentioned something about liking to train with other people. Do you still like to train with others, or do you tend to, do more training by yourself these days because of your specific goals?
Um, no, well, I do have sometimes like some like um trainings in which I train alone, but most of the time I train with others. It's much more fun. So yeah, it's the way we do it. Also, like, I mean, in Colombia, every club is really small, so yeah, it doesn't have much sense to separate the trainings, and uh,
Yeah.
there's just a few people in the club, so we all train together all the time.
Yeah, I like training with people. I like getting a lot of horse time. I have to admit, I've always been a bit of a horse uh, hog, we call it. But it's more fun to share the experience with other people, get their
Exactly.
opinions. And
And if we have, like, the different levels, so we just adjust the exercises that we're training on to adjust it to each level. But yeah, we train always together.
so we all are really curious about what led to your vaulting um, ability, because you're really, really excelling right now and impressing everybody. So we want to know, I want to know, I want you to describe what made you such a good vaulter. I mean, who's influenced you in Colombia? Who's influenced you internationally? Just what led to this?
Um, I think it all started when I was about like 13 years old, because I really got very motivated. Um, I think that I got really motivated because I started watching a lot of videos of international competitions, and I have been just like two times before that on an international competition. And well, I started going more to training, like 5 days a week, training a lot more. And I think it was just the motivation, because as I said, there's not that much of a competition here in Colombia. So if you want to be really good, it has to come from yourself. You have to be self-motivated. And well, my coach has always contacted coaches all around the world to give us clinics and to help us out. So yeah, I had the opportunity to train with many other trainers from around the world, and that's also shaped the way I waltz right now.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your coach. Tell us who your coach is in Colombia and about her. What makes her special?
Yeah, her name is Maria Fernanda, and well, she's really special to me. She's like family to me. I grew up next to her. Um, because I started vaulting when I was 5 years old. And well, she likes us to have. I mean, she thinks she has this like philosophy that a good vaulter can also can keep on having fun training. It
Hmm.
doesn't have to take like fun out of the training so that you become a really good vaulter. And I think that that's something that's been really important for me, because you start vaulting and you continue making it and go into training because you like it. Um, Even if at some point you set your goal you set a goal to become a really good vaulter and to um, get good scores and
Hmm.
get good place in international competitions. So I think that's something that's been important for me, that I've always have.
It, it must make it nicer in training, because if you're really working hard and things are getting tough and maybe it's frustrating, from what I know of Maria Fernanda, she would find a positive way to look at the training, even if it's a tough one, and she would make it
Yeah,
more just lighthearted and tell you, "Come on, Juan, you're doing good, but try it again." Like a positive spin. Yeah,
yeah, she's really, really positive.
yeah, that's really helpful, especially for your home training. Um, so, what about? Is there been any major influences that you feel have influenced you from international sources, from your travels, that have had a big impact on you?
Well, yeah, of course. So because we live here in Colombia, it's difficult for us to travel a lot to international competitions. But um, the times that I've competed internationally, it's of course like an event that gives me, where I get to see a lot of vaulters and see a lot of vaulting, and of course that's very inspiring.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, to create, just to continue training, and also to create out of everything that you see, just to evolve your training and to create new things. Um,
Yeah. Do you have any stories you could tell us about some early experience in your vaulting career that sort of got you going, got you inspired? Anything specific?
um, well, not very specific, but I think one of the first times that I competed internationally was in Brazil. Um,
Brazil. Yeah.
Brazil,
Okay.
yeah, in a team, and the whole team went back to Colombia really motivated, and I think it was like one of the, because it was like the first time, and because we did well
Pause
at
real
that
quick.
competition, I think
Pause
that
for a
was
second.
very,
There you go. Sorry, I
like
lost you
more.
for your video got all fuzzy. Hold on. Okay. So you were just telling me about an experience in Colombia, and then your video froze. So go ahead. You were saying something about some competition in Colombia that was really inspiring to you.
I mean, I was talking about that one of the first time that I competed internationally was in Brazil,
Yeah.
and that the whole team went back to Colombia really motivated, and that was an event that marked a path in vaulting for us, to our club in general,
Mhm.
because it really got us motivated. So I think that was, it was the first time, and I think um, it was really important, because that is what makes us keep going and wanting more.
I think I might have been at that competition in Sao Paulo. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think I was there. Yeah. And it's similar to my story. And when I was a kid, I was 13 years old. I went to Europe and got to watch the World Championships, and I just was blown away. And it, just to see that level of vaulting, but also to feel like I was part of an international community, it really made it helped me a lot. Just want more and want to be part of that group.
Exactly. It makes you want more. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us, is there anything? Is there any experience that you had later in your career, maybe as you had already become an international vaulter, that took you to a new place or somehow got you past the initial stage to the level where you could win the world championships?
Well, I don't really think so because the first time that I won, it was pretty unexpected for me. Because before that, I had competed only 2 times as an individual internationally. Well, I mean, like 4 times, but just 2 of them like at um, FA competitions. So like 2
Fake
real
competitions?
competitions. Sorry?
You mean like test competitions or dress rehearsals?
I mean, like before I won, I had competed only twice at international competitions individually that were fake competitions because the others were just like we went to compete in
SEI?
Ecuador, but without being fake.
Do you mean FEI?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. When you said fake, I thought you said fake. I was like, what do you mean a fake competition? Oh, okay. I get it. My bad. Okay, yeah. All right. Well, wait. So, come on. I want you to think about this. So, I know you didn't expect to win the world championships. I know you're also a humble guy, and you're not one to sort of be like, I'm gonna win. I mean, even if you thought you had a chance, I'm sure you approach things with an understanding it could go well, it could go not well, and that's okay. But something must have given you that kick in the butt to train that hard to be able to win. I mean, when you look back and went, oh my God, I won. Wow, how did that happen? Is there any answer?
No, I don't really think so. I just because before, I mean, my goal for training that hard was just being the best vaulter that I can be, and I just wanted to be able to do everything that I see on the videos, on vaulting videos. I wanted to be able to do everything that just the best vaulters do. I think that was my motivation. Yeah.
So do you admit, which I admit completely, do you admit to actually copying people? I mean, I'm not saying to go and do their thing in competition, but I've always wanted to learn how to do moves like other people do it, and I've tried them until I could do it.
Totally. I totally admit it. I look at videos and I say I want to do that exercise, or even if it's just a compulsory exercise, but I try to copy it exactly as the other person does it. So yeah, I try to do exactly.
I think it's important that we admit to people that we actually do copy. I mean, I've always tried to copy what I see, and making it my own is something that happened naturally. But it's okay to admit that, hey, I want to be like that guy, or I want to be able to vault like that guy, and just try to do it. And then, that's how we grow. Exactly. None of us are completely self-made. We all came from who we've seen. So recently, I'd like to know if there's anything that you feel like you've learned since your latest success internationally that is going to help you towards the future.
Well, recently, I think, at those important competitions, I think is, listening to others, because I've always liked to do what I want in vaulting. But it's important to listen to others because others have important things to say, and their opinions count. You don't always have the answers for everything. So I think that's very important because when you don't do well at a competition and you've always done exactly that, what you want, then you have to listen to others to be able to know what's happening. So I think
it's fair to say you're just turned 20, yeah?
Yeah, just 20.
Okay, so you were a teenager until now. Okay. And I mean, I remember when I was a teenager, I knew everything at the age of 14, 15. I knew everything, you know. And ever since I became an adult, I started learning, yeah, I don't really know everything. And then as I got older, I was like, yeah, I don't really know anything. So you just
Yeah.
learn what you don't know, and that's like the biggest lesson, you know. And it's great to, yeah, the more we listen, the better we get.
Yeah. So, and always when I've listened, that has helped me do better at competition. So it's really important.
All the coaches out there are like saying thank you for saying this. So tell us, what would you say influences your style and music choices the most?
My style, I think, the Swiss vaulters, because I really like how they vault. I really like
The Swiss vaulters?
the Swiss vaulter.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like vaulting in Switzerland, I think they have like this specific style that I like.
Wait, tell me, you can't just say Swiss vaulters. Tell me a person, tell me an example. Give me an example of someone, a Swiss vaulter that you saw their routine and you're like, that's awesome.
I can mention you a few. I mean, for example,
Okay.
Mohar, which I trained a lot of time with. Also,
Who?
Marina Mohar
Okay.
and Nadia Boutiquer. I mean, they're
Yeah.
so stuffed with the horse, and they have such a style that I like so much, and I think that's influenced my vaulting. Also, the opportunity that I have that I had to train with them for a complete year, and
Yeah,
well,
that's
that's
amazing.
very important. That was really amazing. And then my music choices, I don't really know what influences them. I just
Do you work hard to find, do you struggle and like go try different things, or does something just wash over you and you go, this is what I need to do?
well, I look a lot when I need to choose a music. I, I I search a lot, and then I try to edit them and everything, and I usually take a long time for that because I'm never happy with my music.
Always a little unsatisfied.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But you know what? First, I'm someone who's been accused of never being satisfied. And I try to tell people that's not, I don't see that as a negative thing. For me, that's a positive thing. I'm always a little unsatisfied, and it makes me want to try
It
things
makes you want to work
differently.
on the details to improve. Yeah, exactly. It's a good
And
thing.
then you eventually, you have what you have, and you make the best of what you have. Yeah.
Exactly.
Is there any, could you tell us anything about a specific routine? There was one you had that was, I think you were a slave. You were like in chains.
Yeah, that was my last freestyle.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that routine. What led to that theme, and what did it mean? What was it?
Well, it was an idea from my coach here in Colombia, from Maria Fernanda.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I just liked it. I thought it was a big, it was a like a big, it was a huge like step for me because
Mm-hmm.
I needed to change my style to be able to perform, uh, that character, because my music choices before that were always like fast music, and
Okay.
yeah, it was a bit more active, and this one was more like slow, expressive, and like more dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I liked it. I thought it was a great idea to change a little bit, and so yeah, it was an idea uh, of my coach, and then I chose the song. The song is it's in Russian, and the name of the song is "Horse" in Russian, and it talks about a
Okay.
person running through a field with a horse.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought nice, and that's the reason that I chose that song.
That was like, probably felt like a sign somehow that maybe
Yeah,
that was something
exactly.
you should consider. Yeah.
Yeah, like
um,
nobody knows that because in Russian, but still, it was nice.
no, that's interesting. Well, all I can say is that it was definitely a riveting theme. You know, it pulled people in, and it made us want to know what was going on. And I always think it's more important that we know it means something to the vaulter, that the audience knows that it really means something to the vaulter, than it is that we understand exactly what it means. Because we can create our ideas, but if we're interested in what it means to you, that's what really gets us involved and gets our attention.
For me, it wasn't that important that everyone understands that I was a slave. It was more important to me that I was able to portray that I was kind of trapped, and I like the feeling, exactly, but not exactly like I want everyone to know that I was a slave. That I don't think that's very important.
Yeah, and but we did get that feeling. And I think especially about the time when you're like shaking your head around and like really in sort of agony in a way. I mean, that's cool. It was different.
Yeah, I think it's about portraying the feeling.
So getting more specifically to how you train, tell us something about your training regimen, gymnastics, dance, stretching. I know that flexibility is a huge thing for you. And I know you put a lot of time and energy into that. So what is your secret to becoming one of the best vaulters in the world in your training?
Well, so when I was at school, I mean, so until 2018, I trained 5 days a week. I trained, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, just around like 2.5 hours. Wednesdays, maybe 4 hours, and Saturdays as well, as well, maybe 4 or 5 hours. And so that was a lot of training. And
that's a lot.
and I spent a lot of time also stretching. I did like 3 sessions in a week where 2 or 3 sessions in a week where I was only stretching for an hour. And well, that's all changed now because I'm at university now. And so I don't have that much to train, time. So I try to go to training 2 times a week nowadays. So it's a bit more difficult right now to improve.
Well, I mean, we all know what it's like to be in full training, and just to be on sort of the kind of training just to keep us from falling away, from digressing. And of course, hey, we're all stuck we're stuck at home on lockdown, so it's a little different. We're all dealing with that. But but specifically,
you also asked me about.
I asked you about what?
About gymnastics and dancing. So I wanted to say also that
gymnastics, dancing, and stretching. Yeah.
So I've taken gymnastic lessons most of the time only during the holidays, and also dancing lessons like ballet lessons and contemporary dancing lessons, and that's played a huge role in my vaulting style and in my improvement.
Do you take that in the city, like with the dance instructor, or do you have someone come to your club, or how does that work with the dance?
Yeah, we had someone come to our club, and we had the dancing lessons in our club, and we've done that with many different trainers. Well, not many, but with a few different dancing instructors, and also the gymnastic. For the gymnastics, we go to a gym, and the good thing about that is that the person that, like the coach in the gym, knows about vaulting because he was also a vaulting trainer, so that makes it, he makes the gymnastic trainings also a little bit with this orientation towards vaulting.
Yeah, cool. Do you think that the dance? Gymnastics. Look, I'm a full supporter of gymnastics. I mean, I did a lot of gymnastics when I was younger too, and that's the foundation of the sport. But I'm really interested in how dance influences vaulting, especially at a higher level, because it seems to be one of the things that separates people and makes people different, you know, and gets them to try to do something that's outside of our understanding of the sport. Is there any example in your vaulting that specifically came from your dance work? A move, the way you choreograph something, anything like that?
I mean, the expression and the movements with my body, of course, dancing plays a role in that, because dancing is a lot about being creative with your body.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot came from there. And also, believe it or not, in the physical training as well, because dancing ballet classes have a lot of muscle training, and we've incorporated some of that training also to our training regimen.
To like increase mobility and strength in your extension and things like that?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So now that we've kind of talked a little bit about your training, I'd like to ask you a little bit about what helps you as a competitor and what helps you specifically in competition. We all find ourselves under pressure at competition at some point. Seldom does the competition have no pressure, but some just tend to have a lot more, and you know, might be stressful for whatever reason. What do you do mentally when you're really feeling under pressure to help you get through the competition and do your best?
So, well, before I used to get really nervous, and of course, I think that when you're really nervous, that doesn't help you to perform well. So that's one of the things you really have to focus on, and you got to learn how to control that. So one of the things I do is to focus on my breathing and try not to think anything at all. I think it's one of the best things you can do. Try not to think about anything, like before the competition and also while you're competing.
So you mean when do you decide not to think about anything? I mean, I agree the idea is great, but it's hard to say don't think of anything before the competition and don't think of anything during the competition. What do you mean specifically? How do you not think about anything?
Well, it's a bit difficult, I guess, but yeah, I just try to focus on my breathing, because every time that thoughts come through my mind, that can give you it can make you have fear and become more nervous. So I just try to live my mind in white.
How do you feel about when people come up to you and talk to you? Do you avoid it? Are you cool with it? It happens. What do you do when it happens?
Well, I think, you always have to be nice to everybody. So
you do?
Okay. Yeah, you have to.
Advice from Juan: be nice. Okay, fine, Juan. Okay, we'll try.
Yeah, but yeah, I actually don't like that people come to me just before a competition to tell me something. I don't want to hear anyone. Yeah, maybe just a few things that my trainer has to say or so, but not that much.
It's good to know, and I think that a lot of people agree with that. But all those of you out there who want to go give Juan a big old hug and a kiss and a slap on the butt just before he goes in the arena, maybe we should just hold back and wait till after you get out of the arena. Yeah.
Yeah, better.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind. All right, so just I'd like to know one of the most amazing moments of your life, and it can be anything that somehow having to do with vaulting. You know, a memorable moment that just makes you smile when you think about it.
That was the second time that I became junior world championship. It's one of my my most memorable moments, because that was a championship that I went to win, and so it was really hard mentally for me, but I think that it was just really special to me that I went to do something. It was like my goal, because as I said, the first time was a little bit more unexpected, but that time, the second time, it was what I went to do. So it was really special, and every time I think about that, it makes me happy.
Did you have a lot of pressure on you to win again?
Yeah, of course, because I think it was a pressure that came. It came from me. Like I
Okay.
put that on me because I said I want to go, and this time I have to go to win. And it was also pressuring that before that competition, I only had the opportunity to train 2 times with that horse. It was the same horse on which I won the first time, but for that competition, I only had 2 trainings on him. Um, so that was also pressuring.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we all who were there were really. I can't think of anyone who wasn't happy to see you experience that win. Even your greatest competitors enjoyed seeing you win because you're just the kind of guy that people like to root for. So I think you should be proud of that.
Thank you.
And this is your opportunity to let us know what you think, what's fortunate for you that has led you to be so successful. I mean, is there anything about your family support or your opportunities that you feel really fortunate to have?
Yeah, well, my family has also played this big role in my improvement as a vaulter because they've always supported me and they've always believed that you can do whatever you want to, and that if you work hard for your goal, then you can achieve it. And so, well, my parents always believed in me and that I can accomplish anything that I want to, and that's been very important. Also, they've supported me by going to international competitions. So without that, nothing would have been possible. So yeah, they've played a huge role. Yeah.
I'm fortunate enough to know your parents, and they're really lovely people. And I've always been very touched by their outward support of your career, but also just how involved they become in a positive way. I also had parents who were very supportive of me. But I think it's really cool to see how your parents can be around but then back off when needed. At least that's what we see from the outside. Like they're not sort of bugging you all the time, but they're there in the background to support you.
Yeah, they've always every time I've been to an international competition, they've been there. Well, most of the time, so that's like a huge support.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, yeah, as you say, they're not pressuring at all.
And it's good for us to hear from the champions out there how much they get from other people. The best of the vaulters like Juan are a combination of talent and skill and hard work, but also, we have support and we have people who lift us and help us, and it's always like this combination. It's like it's a group effort in a way.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what are you aiming for now, Juan? What's the future hold for Juan Martin Clavijo, and not only inside the sport, but then you can let us know if there's something outside of the sport you'd like to tell people about your life and your goals.
Well, at the moment, as I said, I'm at university and I'm studying medicine. So I'll become a doctor, but well, I still want to continue training. I just don't know for how long. I do know that I want to go at least to to have a few more seasons and to go to other international competitions.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see me. but I don't know if it's gonna be for a very long time.
Well, sometimes it's good to not to know we don't know. It's okay to not know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's good to know that you're going to keep with it, because we haven't seen the last of Juan Martin, and we don't want to have seen the last. We all believe that you have a lot more in you, and I personally am looking forward to seeing your career develop. And
Thanks.
it's exciting to hear also that you're pursuing something like being a doctor. These days, we're all realizing how important it is to have people in the healthcare industry helping society, and especially people who really put themselves into their work. So I'm impressed that you're taking that on, and we all wish you the best of luck with your studies and with your career as well.
Thank you very much.
Juan, it's been great talking to you. I know everyone will be happy to see you're doing well. It sounds like your family is healthy, and stay strong, my friend. Do everything you can to keep your vaulting there and ready. And we're really excited to seeing you vaulting again. So adios, mi amigo.
Goodbye. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Juan. Take care.